So you're looking to rebuild your life from the inside out. Yeah, me too. Hi, my name is Ruth, and this video is all about how I'm gonna build my dream life. A few years ago, I burnt out from chasing what I thought was my dream life, the city, the success, the schedule. I gave it all up, and as any distressed aesthetic girl does, I moved to Bali. I traveled, I healed, I slowed everything down, and now I'm back. I am going to rebuild my whole entire life. Every nook, every cranny, every facet, every category that you could possibly think of is under scrutinization, and I am about to rebuild it. And it's not necessarily even to become someone entirely new. It's just to step into this version of myself that I have always felt like deep underneath. I don't know if you've ever had this feeling before, but it's like a haze and it's familiar, but also slightly out of reach. I know her. I know this version of myself. I know her so well. I've seen glimpses of her in the things that I do, and I've tasted samples and almost, and like I've been chasing this vision, this version of myself for so long. And I think the belief is if we fix more and if we heal more and if we hustle harder, then maybe you can finally be her. And I'm a self-help girly. Like, honestly, I've been in so many years of therapy, so many books I've purchased and podcasts that I've listened to. I've taken the courses and I've had the endless breakthroughs. Don't get me wrong, it has helped massively, but it's also left me kind of stuck in my head, overanalyzing, overthinking, and in this state of inaction. And I don't want to keep living that way. So this year, this is what I'm going to be trying instead. I saw this quote on Instagram and I absolutely instantly loved it. It hit a part of me that I needed to reach because I am an overthinker. And maybe it's my control issues or maybe it's my literal OCD, but I will talk and talk and talk for hours. I'll map it out. I'll run it over my friends. I'll go back and forth. It leaves me so overwhelmed that I don't feel like I can do anything. When I do step into action, which I do in quite big ways, it is often about things that don't really matter at the time, or things that, don't hold such high stakes. And when the stakes are high, I completely freeze and I kind of demobilize myself with my thinking. So this year, anytime that I have felt those feelings come up, I just put trust in my intuition. I put trust in the plan that I have made and I follow that. Because at the end of the day, you should honor your feelings and they are valid, but a lot of the time, especially in my case, it will leave me feeling and not doing. And this year I want to do and I want to be. Which leads me on to number 2, creating the plan but making it mine. And I love them, but not some random TikTokers how to, best to, this is the way. What is important to me, what I value, what I need, what actually feels sustainable. It has to work for my life. I feel like all these how-to guides and almost Pinterest worthy routines are great, but they often require so much from you, and that pressure leads to burnout, and that is exactly what I am trying to avoid. I am used to giving 100%. Like, I'm the kind of person who is 100% in, or I'm not doing it at all. Sometimes it's because of external pressures that I have then internalized, but other times it's because I know what I'm capable of. But what I'm starting to realize is that 100% can look different on different days. If the 100% goal is to go to the gym 5 times a week and to be amazing in this calorie deficit and be doing all this stuff for your health and fitness, if my 100% looks like I got out of bed today and went on a walk because I had too many meetings, that is enough. And this year I definitely want to show up with more kindness to myself, with grace as I move forward. As long as I move forward, whether it be 1% or 0.5%, a move forward is a move forward. And even if I stay still, I am still on the journey. Being able to treat myself with more kindness and more grace as I get all of this done. So I've kind of broken it down into 10 major factors, but for this video, I'm just gonna group it into 6. So number 1, personal growth and healing. This is really important to me. I'm currently in this space where I have found this amazing therapist who really understands me as a person, but also as a Black woman and all my traumas and things that have come with that. What we've really been diving into is looking at my previous behaviors and my negative self-talk and those limiting beliefs, and that all starts with my inner child. So this year it is a really big focus to me to look at my inner child and kind of honor her in everything that I do, because she is there And I think for the majority of my life, I have been repressing her or shaming her and not showing her as much love as she honestly deserves, because, you know, she's running the whole show. She's the one that started this whole thing, and I definitely want to honor her more as I go on my personal growth journey. I've been trying to practice holding space. I've been doing like somatic exercises. When an emotion does come up, letting it come up and honoring it and acknowledging it. I'm not much of a feeler, as I said. I'm a thinker. I love to think. I love to overanalyze. I can put words to things, but when it actually comes to feeling the emotion, the other part that deals with healing, I'm not very good at it. It's been difficult, but I have definitely been trying. I definitely want to do a lot more reading this year. I'm one of those people who have the subscription to Audible, and I have all these free credits, and I get the audiobooks, like I get all the recommendations, and I never make time to actually listen to them. And this year, I want to do more than that. I'm setting myself a goal, a realistic goal of like 1 per quarter, so like 1 every 3 months. And so far, it actually is going really well. I finished the one by Oprah called What Happened to You, where she talks to her therapist, and it honestly was so validating and so good. My best friend Ajita, she recommended it to me, and now in the second quarter of the year, I am actually doing The Artist's Way. I am currently on week 2, and it's actually going really well. I need to get better at not punishing my body. I am very conscious of it, and I try my very hardest to do it, but I'm human. Everyone is, and we all make mistakes, and we all, you know, have these moments. I find myself sometimes down a hole with comparing myself to others. I think this is like really evident when I was living in Bali, and the people that I was hanging around with and the people that I was seeing, they were so gorgeous, and I felt so self-conscious, and I didn't realize how much of that was actually sitting in my body, like how much negative self-talk that I had been carrying for years, until I, you know, was really confronted with real life triggers around that. So this year, I really want to focus on getting strong, getting healthy, and what that looks like for my body, making sure that my body has the right nutrients, making sure that it is well rested, and like making sure that I have a good foundation. This is my home and I need to take care of it, and food is a massive part of that. I have had a complex relationship with food for my whole entire life. I think a lot of it is down to lack of knowledge. I was a part of the generation where I think we just assumed that like going on a diet is how we'd lose weight, and I think I've carried a lot of those negative beliefs and negative thoughts around food for the whole of my life. This year I definitely want to fix my relationship or make it better and actually understand what is going into my body and understand what the different food groups do and how they can contribute to, you know, me being my healthiest self. This one is so big. I said in my previous video where I actually covered a lot of this in my vision board. For me, if by the end of this year I'm able to make 2 or 3 like really aligned friends who see me and hold space and like make me feel comfortable with who I am, which is something that I've struggled with for so long. If I'm able to like make or deepen relationship with existing friends that you've reached that level, I would have won. I would have forget any other relationship. That is my goal for this year. But no one teaches you how to make friends in your 20s. You know, you have dating apps and you have all this advice online, like how to find a guy and what to do with love and yada yada yada. And that's fine. Obviously, there's a space for that. I understand. I'm also looking for love, but I need friends. I need friends, and I need good friends. And in order for me to achieve this, I have realized that I have to get out of my house. I'm self-employed, you know, I run my own company, and I'll find many days where I'll just go back to back, not really speaking to anyone. And in order to find these friends, I gotta leave my house. I gotta leave it. I have committed myself to doing at least 2, not random networking events, because I used to do so many networking events, but 2 really aligned social activities that feel right for me. And if they feel right for me, naturally they will invite people who, you know, have the same values into my life. For example, at the beginning of the year, I went to an offline event where we didn't have phones, and I've also been to an in real life retreat with the Selfhood, which was literally amazing. Shout out to the Selfhood, actually, run by Daisy. She has created such an amazing community, and they have co-working days every month in London. So I'll put the link in the description below, because honestly, so far that has been my favorite social activity this year. Creativity is one that I have also been trying to honor. Obviously, I'm creative. I do it daily, but I feel like I don't express it in ways that genuinely bring me joy, and that is what I want to do more of this year. As I said, I'm on week 2 of The Artist's Way. It has been really incredible what it has actually already brought up, especially the morning pages. If you don't already know, I'm an overthinker. Having this outlet to get everything out first thing in the morning has created such space for other things to come up. I'm only on week 2, so I can't preach to you about like the benefits of it yet, but so far I've found that technique so helpful when it comes to kind of finding out what my creative voice is and kind of tapping back into that childlike, joy-like creativity that I definitely have, but it's like somewhere so deep down. After like many years of adulting and growing up, telling myself that, you know, it isn't the way to live, or that isn't the thing to do, or like you can't make money from it, like, you know, the external noises, and then tapping into what intuitively lights me up and what intuitively brings me joy in a creative sense. This is also a part of it. I have tried to start a YouTube channel for literally all my life. Like, I'm pretty sure I like signed up, this is like from 2009. I have sat down in front of a camera many times. I have so much content on my phone. You'd think my job was a content creator. I think there's just been so much fear around creating, fear around what it might do to my life, fear around, you know, the success, and because I love it so much, fear about loss of that. Me putting content out and me like slowly editing myself out is a good practice in my creativity. Child, I be using travel for the wrong reasons. I'm a 100% digital nomad. My companies are run 100% remotely. My whole team is 100% remote. For as long as I've done that, so basically all my adult life, it means that I can be everywhere and nowhere at once. And that is the issue. I have no home roots. I obviously have where my family are from and where I was born and where I went to school, but to me, they don't feel like roots. And I need some roots, yeah. This tree is in the wind, it's blowing, it ain't it. I had this realization this year actually. I was in the Caribbean and I flew to the Philippines that same week. Crazy behavior, I know. I sat down because I'd done Southeast Asia before. I was like, yes, I'm back in the place that I really love. And what I realized is that I just didn't need it in the way that I needed it the first time. When I first left to travel, it was about taking time out to heal from the overwhelm and the burnout. And this time around, it just really didn't serve any other purpose than I can do it, so I'm gonna do it. There is something to say for, you know, live your life, you're young, you might as well go out. If you can have the resources, do it. There's also something to be said for, I know what it is that I want long term. I want a home, I want to build a life in a place that feels aligned to me. Me jumping on a plane every couple months and disappearing for 6 months, a year at a time, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So this year I am focused on intentional trip. I've done a whole astrophotography, I probably said that wrong, but I've done a whole star sign about where it is that I would feel most at home and where it is that I would be creatively inspired. A few places were Ireland, New Zealand, the south of France, and South America. Those are the places in which that I would put on top of my travel list, maybe 2 a year, to really go for maybe a month or 2 at a time, to really see if it makes any difference to my life and how I feel when I'm in that space. If it does, then exploring that further, but not just committing to this like one-way travel ticket that everyone talks about, you know, getting up, getting on a plane. It's exhausting. It is really isolating. It is not a life that I want to live anymore. So focusing on aligned travel and actually going to places that speak to me. And hopefully that will allow me to discover a place that I can finally put those roots in and call home. And finally, money and work. I've also been working on this in therapy. And when I tell you, my relationship to money is the strangest thing that I wasn't even aware of. It shocked me when it came up, and it keeps coming up in ways that I would not expect. Being a founder and running a business, it requires a certain amount of energy. It requires a certain amount of time from yourself, and I'm often exhausted. That's what the deep side's for. I am often exhausted. And I've spoken about it in previous videos, but I want to be a mother, and to me that's not just, you know, a specific role, you know, mother, but like it is an embodiment of how I live. I want to nurture, I want to flow, I want to hold space, I want to heal. And the way I'm working, it ain't aligning, okay? So this year is all about aligning my business. It almost feels like I'm starting again because I've ran it one way for so long. And this year I'm like, actually everyone, we're doing it completely different. Building the foundations so that I can go about and do things that align with, you know, my feminine energy, or, you know, my calling to be a mother, and practice those things. But it's also doing it so that when I actually do become a mother, I can actually take the time off to be as present with my kids as possible without having to solely rely on someone else, and being financially independent. And more than anything, I want to lean into trusting myself again. Oh my gosh, my intuition. I want to lean into it. You know, that part of you that knows what you're meant to do without having to look at like this map or this plan. I feel like life is very much like water. There are like deep currents underneath and you can't really see where things are going, and I just want to be able to have the ability to lie back and flow with it. And I know that sounds really spiritual, and I know that sounds really airy, but it is so important to me as an overthinker, as a planner. I love a strategy, and I feel like all this thought and hope without a strategy, you can't really go anywhere. But at the same time, I need to lean more into the hope. I need to lean more into the intuition. I need to lean more into the flow in order to get where I'm trying to go, instead of like trying to force it up the hill. And this is what this series is. It is the becoming to being. This isn't going to be some quick 30-day challenge or some transformation before and after vlog. No, it's going to be a process. I want to be realistic about that. It's about me learning to live this version of myself that I already am, and just choosing to show up as her every day, to lay better foundations for the future, and to really build a life that I don't have to escape or I don't have to recover from. And I want to video it and document it and kind of take you guys with me, partially because I wish I saw more of this. All this slow living and mindful growth. A lot of the women who talk about it, they don't look like me. And I've been so alone in a lot of my journey, whether it is in business or whether it is in the places that I've grown up. If this helps one person be seen and be understood, and someone who is also on this journey who believes in the same things that I believe in, and believes in the same way of life that I believe in, and believes they can achieve the things the way that I do, helping them to feel less alone, is why sharing this to me is so important. And I am an unfiltered person, child. The way I'm gonna be uploading the messy, the honest, the in-betweens, the pivots, just so people can understand that it's not just a before and after. Life isn't just about, you know, doing it and then suddenly it's done so then I can show this best version of myself. Like, no, all versions of myself are good. All versions of myself are worthy of being shared and worthy of being loved and worthy of being appreciated. And that is what I kind of want to get across while sharing my journey. As I said, I'm currently doing the artist way, so I'd love to share my thoughts and feelings about that. Inspired by my girl Don't Cheat, by the way. I saw that she did it and I was like, it's been around my orbit for quite a while. When I saw she did it and everything that she's achieved, I thought, yeah, that's my sign. Usually I don't need a sign, but that there was my sign and I took it. If you're also on this journey back to yourself, you are not alone. I would love to have you here. I would love to walk beside you as we go down this road together, whether it be long and winding. I wish you so much love as you go about your week, as you go about your day, and as I always say, remember to choose and lead with love. Bye.